Here we go.
Money motivates the crowd. So if you're gonna talk to people about money, I think it's important that you bring the money with you. Okay, y'all sound like y'all tired. Y'all tired?
We're relaxed.
Y'all relaxed? Okay. So what about yoga you guys like? What you like about yoga?
The whole mindfulness meditation part near the end.
Okay.
Sometimes reflect.
Okay. What about you?
My muscles. Just really stretching my muscles and my thighs.
Okay, you like an athlete.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So stretching yourself, it works out for you?
Yeah.
So I brought money today, right? And I hope y'all don't let me leave with this money. Okay, so we're gonna have crowd participation. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about me and what it is that I do and how that you guys can get some of this money, okay? So I got y'all full attention?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I was born and raised in Miami Gardens, Florida, right? I went to school. I was raised by my single mom. My father went to jail when he was young, not knowing, just out in the street. And so just growing up, it was tough for me. I learned how to tie my first tie on YouTube, right? And the world was expecting something of me that I didn't know. So when I showed up to a particular place where you wore a tie, I felt uncomfortable because I just didn't know how to exist in that place. I didn't know how to tie a tie, so YouTube helped me fill the gaps, right? So as I got older, I learned money was the same way. I didn't know that much about money. I know people have been giving me money since I've been young. You know, some of my parents would give me dollars for chores, dollars for making my bed, or if I wanted something from the store, the candy lady. But nobody taught me about rules to money, right? So that's what I want to talk to you guys about, financially literate. So how many of you guys like nice things? Right? I saw some of you guys dressed today, you fresh, you know what I mean? And as I was coming in, I like nice things too. So, but it's certain things that I have to have in order to keep nice things. Because life is bad for a bunch of people. It's good for some people. And for a few people, it's great, right? But you got to determine, financial literacy is where you determine where you fall in that spectrum, okay? So just to give you a little bit more, I authored a book called Breaking the Financial Curse because I was passionate about coming back to you guys, people that look like me, people like me, that didn't know how to tie a tie, didn't know that there was rules to money, didn't know anything that they expect, they hope that we won't know, right? So I own a few businesses. I was a previous correction officer. I used to work as a loan officer with Space Coast Credit Union. Who all knows what a loan officer is in here?
It's a place where you go if you want to take out a loan for a business or for yourself.
Oh, that was a good answer, okay? So if I was the bank and I had a criteria today, I would be the bank, and me judging you guys, certain things about you would determine if you can get this money or not. So I'm going to kind of break that down to you, some of the things that you need to have in place to be able to get the bank's money and achieve some of your goals and dreams in life, okay? Who of you guys like nice cars? All right. So do you guys know what it takes to get a nice car? What? Good credit, and what else? Money, and what else? Good insurance. You definitely need insurance. If you have to insure your phone, you definitely have to insure your car, right? That's $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, right? So did you guys know that there were rules to money?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me some of the rules then.
To save.
To save. Okay, that's a good rule. Invest. Okay, I like that. Come on. I like that answer because you do have to invest. Money. What's another name for money? Currency, right? What is currency? It's something that's always what? Moving, right? It's moving. You don't sit money still, right? Inflation. How many of you guys remember when chips was 25 cents?
Or Arizona's for $1.
Right. So how much is chips now?
$1.
Like
Almost 75 cents a dollar, right? So you get one bag for 75 cents now, right? I remember it was 2 for 50 cents, 2 for $1. But what happens to this dollar if I just sit it here?
It's not gonna grow.
It's not gonna grow, right? But what happens if everything around us is actually increasing in cost? What happens to this dollar?
It loses value.
It loses value. So when you sit it still, what happens to your money?
You're losing value.
It's losing value. And the things around you are increasing in what? In cost, right? So it costs more to buy the same thing today, tomorrow, right? So if you sit it still, you're actually going broke slow, right? So that's a rule of money. You must invest it, right? Because if you don't invest it, you're losing it. right? Saving it. We heard, how many of you, a lot of you guys said save, right? So saving it, that's cool because we have to make sure it's safe, right? Once we make sure it's safe, then it's up to us to do something with it, right? It's our responsibility. That's when it comes to understanding the rules of money. Who heard of the rule of 72 in here? Oh man, I had some money for you guys. Nobody heard?
I don't remember, but I learned it in financial literacy.
Right, okay. Is a mathematical concept to teach you how long it will take your money to double. So how many of you guys are good at math in here? Okay, got some whiz kids, okay. So, right, if I did 1 divided by 72, what is that?
72.
Okay, so y'all smart. Y'all smart. So I'm gonna teach you that principle that I just taught y'all, the rule of 72. If you know that one principle and you can divide the interest rate that you're being offered, say at this interest it was 1%. 1 divided by 72 is what?
72.
So it takes your money 72 years to double. That means this $1 will take 72 years to double if you sit it in this place earning only 1%. How many of y'all guys want to sit it somewhere where it only earns 1%? Nobody? Y'all sound like a lot more educated now. Somebody could have got you. Now, I guarantee if we had this conversation, if we not had this conversation and you guys went into a bank and a bank says, hey, you guys made your money. You guys can sit it in an account. I'll put it over here for 2 years and sit it in what we call a CD. We'll give you 0.1% interest. That's not even 1%. But they made it sound good and it was a guy in a suit. So you stuff your money and lose access to it just so this dollar takes 72 years to turn it into $2. Does that make sense?
No.
So we're gonna learn some of the rules here, right? So we normally do something. How many of you guys are good at rapping? Ain't got no rappers in the building? Okay, now, because we normally have a tradition in here called this.
We got one right here.
Come on now.
She from the.
Come on, come on. So we normally have a tradition with our group called CEO Cycles.
So the CD account, right?
Okay.
So when you're talking about it.
Okay.
So, cause I know you said the money just sit there.
Okay.
Can I only put money in the CD account one time and then not touch it at all?
No, so a CD account. So say for instance, a bank will say, hey, I'll give you a 2-year CD. That means that you sit your money over here in a CD account for 2 years. So the bank gets to use your money. The bank say, hey man, trust me. Trust me. I know what to do with this money, man. Let me offer you an agreeable amount of interest, hoping you don't understand, hoping you have never had conversations like this, where we'll break it down for you to decode what it is that guy in the suit is saying to you, right? So when you go into the bank, they hoping you don't know this. Hey, what's your name? Julius. Hey Julius, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Got some lollipops here for you. I'm gonna tell you about all our new products, Mr. Julian. We keep your money safe. It's FDIC insured. You know what that is, Mr. Julian? No, most people don't. But it sounds good, right? It saves all your money, protects your money up to $100,000. But what they don't tell you is if the bank ever goes up in smoke,
That's right.
we have 100 years to pay you that back.
That's
That's the fine print that I'm not going to tell you, Mr. Julius. And so, and also thinking I'm the safe guy, I want to offer you what they call a CD. A CD, 1%, man, it's the best in the market. Everybody else is offering 0.5%. I'm going to give you 1%, Mr. Julian. Sounds good to you? So not no more because you're educated now, right? But before, they would have gave you this pretty nice sounding account. And when they gave it to you, you said, okay, that sounds good. I know it's better than sitting under my mattress, right? I know somebody come in and with a gun, a boogeyman come in, they take that and it's gone forever. Ain't no FDI nothing to protect that, right? But now they say they got FDIC and 1%. So now we just decoded the guys in the suit. He says, well, sir, you just walked in here and said, it's going to take me 72 years to make my $2 turn into $4. Yeah. Sir, I don't like those odds, sir. I bet on me. You know what I mean? I have aspirations. I have goals. I like that little Turo business out there. I can invest my money in that. I like that Airbnb business. I like that Spin 360 machine business. Now, I think I could save my money and buy me one of those for $1,500.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I like that vending machine business.
Yes.
Now, I might can save my $1,500 and put it over here and now pick up stock it every week and now make me an extra $2,000.
Yes.
No, I don't like your offer, Mr. Bank, because I'm a lot more educated now. No, don't talk to me like that. So thank you for participating, Mr.
So a CD account is a savings account, but you can't touch it.
But you can't touch it for a specified period of time.
So
Right.
you got to have a savings account, the CD account. The CD account, I can't touch it at all.
You-
It's like you said, 2 years. So I can't touch it before them 2 years come.
No.
But a savings account, I can always go and get it.
You can always go and get it, but then you have to ask, how much is the interest that I'm earning from the savings account? 0.5% interest.
Yeah.
So you got accessibility to it there, but is it it's lower?
Yeah.
And is the cost of inflation rising faster than your money at that time?
Yes.
So you're going broke slow.
Yeah.
You're saving it, right? So we're gonna try to see your ciphers one time.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Miss Casey on the mic. What are you gonna do? CEO for Cypher. We in the building. We in the building. I gotta keep it
Come on.
any day, anyway. I got my mind focused on my goals. Gotta get it anyway. Ha. Yeah, I'm dreaming to the ceiling. Selena, yeah, you know, girl, we
When
willing.
I was a teen, I wish I learned about finance. They tell me put my money in the bank and Binance.
Okay.
But I wish I would have known a little better, because I'm broke out here and I'm sweating.
Chase this shake, we gotta chase this money. Now we ride around at the Energizer Bunny.
Okay.
Teaching y'all buy all kind of money. I'ma let it go, trying to give down the money.
My name is Julius. You know I stack my paper, and everybody know I did that thing later.
Okay.
I put my
Okay, so that's loosened us up. That lets you know we just get our mind flowing in the time, making finance fun, right? Because oftentimes finance is boring. When you learn about financial literacy, it's like this monotone thing and this talk, and it's not fun, it's not captivating. And I want to bring you principles that you can take back home with you and that you can use actively, okay? When you go in the bank, now Julius, you're not gonna let them talk to you like that no more. You're gonna know they're cussing at you when they're talking, right? One goal throughout life that you want. You can want a car, a house, you could want to be married, you could want to have kids, you could one goal.
A really big house.
A really big house, okay? What is one of the goals that you would like? Huh?
I want a farm.
A farm? Okay, come on now. I know where to go get some milk.
For like cosmetology kind
Okay. So you want to buy a building to start a business?
of. Yeah.
Okay, a cosmetology business? Okay. I want to be in control of my money. I don't want money controlling me. When I work for the money, now I want the money to go work for me. That makes sense? Because if I don't find a way to get this money to start to work for me, I'm always enslaved to working for money for the rest of my life. Make sense? All right? So your friends, go back one slide please. So your friends and your peers, how many of you guys like the new Jordans? Right? Just because your friends get them, don't mean you have to keep up with the Joneses. Right? If you have a goal to buy your house at the end of the year, and those new Jordans came out for $250, and every other month Jordan come out with a new Jordan, and that $250, every time you spend it, it will take you $1,200 away from your goal of buying your new car. The Jordan is not worth it. Your friends having the Jordans at that present moment is not worth it. So don't allow your friends and peers to influence your decision, because this is some of the biggest ways our money get away from us, right? Our customs, traditions, and habits. Some of the things that we do. Our family members. Y'all want to do a barbecue this week? What you bringing? You bringing the sodas? Right? You bringing the waters? You bringing the fish? Right? You bringing the hamburger buns? Right? If that wasn't in your budget, having 2 or 3 or 4 of those every time a family member comes up with a new idea will take you farther away from achieving your financial goals faster. That makes sense? Okay? So advertising. How many of y'all watched the Super Bowl this year? Right? How many of y'all saw all of those advertisements on the Super Bowl? How much do y'all think they paid to advertise during those spots?
Like 50,000?
50,000? Who said 50,000? Okay, that was good.
I said millions.
Millions, right? Some of them paid 10 million, 20 million just to have a 30-second piece of advertisement to come in front of your TV box. Do you say that's a waste of money, right? But you know why it's not? They don't think it's a waste of money? Do you know why they'll do it all over again if they had the opportunity to?
The money's
You
coming.
make that money back again.
Because that advertisement they know would influence your decisions, right? That advertisement was meant to influence, to say, hey, all of those people that think they got control over their money, let's go get some of it, right? Let's go get some of it, right? So they understand that if they can influence your decisions, they actually win over time. You don't achieve none of your goals, and their families get richer and richer, and you get poorer and poorer, okay? So tracking your spending. How many people are familiar with the budget? Okay, so what are some of the things you put into your budget?
Daily needs.
Huh? Daily needs? Huh? Necessities?
Bills.
Bills? Food? Give me one, big man. Anyone you throw in a budget. Grocery shopping? That's good. Personal hygiene? Give me one. Okay. Well, that's what we here for. We here to make it clear. I didn't know. I didn't know what the budget was. I just got my money and said, come on, so what I got to do with it? You know, I was looking for something to do with it. I didn't know how to budget. So that's why we're having those conversations to find out what goes into a budget. How does it look? Matter of fact, if you go to the next slide, I'm going to show you how one looks. A sample. Go to the next. Over here. So this is a sample budget, right? So knowing your income. If you guys made $1,000 in the end of the month, you know you have to have your income totaled up so you know what's coming in. That's first. If you don't know what's coming in, everything then go out. If I didn't know how much money I had in my hand and I go to giving money out, I don't know how much came in or how much went out. That makes sense? Now then I'm out of control. All right? I need to have some for the next class, right? So I got to know how much is going in and how much is coming out. I have to budget myself for each class. So if I had $100, I say $50 for one class, $50 for the next class. But I can't get over here and get excited and go into I'm out of $75. Then I didn't budget properly, right? My next class, somebody gets shorts, just like my goals. If I have goals, financial goals, and I overspent in one area, another goal of mine falls short. And we're not looking for that over time compounded leads to a mediocre life. And there's too many mediocre people, right? Life is good for only a few people, right? It's bad for a bunch of people, right? But it's great for a few people. And are you guys going to fall into that greatness slot? Is it going to be great for you? Is it going to be good for you? Is it going to be bad for you? And that's going to be determined how well you track your money, know what's coming in, and know what's coming out. Some people think finance is all hard. It's not. It's knowing who you are. Do I get emotional when something pisses me off? Do I want to go just spend money a little something? Do I buy some ice cream or something right then unnecessarily? I didn't plan for that. So it's taking me away from getting my car next summer. I gotta have $3,000 saved by the end of next summer to be driving off with my car. Some of my friends won't be able to enjoy that. But I have sacrificed enough to understand that I know where my money is going in and out. So I know how to track, I know how to cut. If so much went out in food, so if I spent $300 of my $1,000 in food, I need to start learning how I can meal prep. Fix my meals in advance so it won't cost me so much. So I'm not eating on the fly. When I get hungry, I get emotional and go supersize a meal over and over. You see? So I don't let my money get away from me. You can either work for yourself, right? You can work for yourself or you can work for someone else. You can own a business and be a business owner. So there's multiple ways, right? You have passive income where you sell stuff and you have a vending machine and you have something coming in passively. The passive income means I don't actively have to go out there and work to go make it. It's a system that's coming in that's set for me to be able to make money even while I'm asleep. That makes sense? Active income means I gotta go out there and actively get it. I gotta go to work, I gotta clock in, I gotta get a career. You gotta have that sometimes because that's stability, right? But adding that extra layer on it of having your own business, having passive income, having some other ways that money is coming in outside of you changing time for it changes the game for you. Because now your income isn't limited to that particular job. Now you have additional modes to bring in additional streams of income. Passive income is saying, hey man, I got a vending machine over there, right? Then I'm self-employed too because I got one of those spin 360 machines for when people like to have the parties. And they like to, do the pictures as it's spinning around. So I have multiple things at work that's bringing me money. Then I got some money in stocks. Now I got investment income coming in. So these are different types of income, right? It's not just working for money, but you have other types of income to supplement working for money. All right? Go to the next one. So this is what we talked about, the self-employment, working for yourself, deductions from your paycheck. So those are things that come out of your paycheck. One of them is taxes, Uncle Sam, right? So when you work a W-2, it automatically comes out of your earnings. So if you made $1,000, so you made $1,000, he takes $300. Without any other exemptions, he takes $300. So you get $700, he gets $300. And that's fine, because he said that's called the deduction. You can get that back at the end of the year. whatever you overpaid to the IRS. And so they get a free loan from you throughout the year. They pay you nothing in interest. You think the bank's bad, but overpaying your money to Uncle Sam that you didn't never seen so he can give you what you overpaid back. At the end of the year, how many people know people happy when income tax time come around? Right? How many people know that they're just happy to get back their own money that the government held and didn't give them any interest? Did y'all know that that's how that works?
Yeah.
They are giving the government a free loan. Free loan. They're saying, hey, yeah, you take my money. You don't give me no interest on it. Just give it back to me whenever y'all get the money out. Do y'all want life to be like that for y'all? No. Constantly? And so if you work the job, it was also good to have another stream of income so that you now are able to create deductions for yourself that don't exist in the W-2 realm. So it's okay when you have a job, but when you add having a business or having your own thing going on too, now when you file for taxes at the end of the year, now you can file for, when I got my hair done, that was to keep in alignment with me being in business. When I stopped and put gas in my car, that was me going on my appointment for business. So, Mr. IRS, I know you said me make $1,000, but let's deduct all of these things first. Let's deduct this first, because I spent $100 on gas this month. I spent about $500 this month. So let's deduct this $500 from that $1,000, so you can only tax $500 now, Mr. IRS. You don't get to tax my whole $1,000. So my tax bill just went down from $300 to $150. Just by having another stream of income coming in that was added to my work income. Does that make sense? Because now I can write off stuff based on me being in business too. That makes sense? So the regular people that just a W-2 employee, they get taxed the most. Right? But when you have your own business, you get taxed a little bit less, because you now get to say, hey, Mr. Government, I know you saw I made $1,000, but before you tax it, let me take this out. Let me take this out, because this don't count over here. This don't count. You can only tax this, Mr. Government. So you only got $400 left. So some people think the answer to that is working another job and working a triple job. How many people know people with 2 and 3 jobs? Right? They think the answer is working more when it's a system that's designed to trick them with illusion. The more you work, the more you'll get taxed.
So, past couple of years, well, several years, we've been doing taxes on our own, me and my wife.
Okay.
And when I would see my return, what I'm getting back, I would get disappointed because I'm W-2.
Yes.
My wife has been 1099 for a long time. So when she does what they call a Schedule C when you're doing your taxes, because before we get to hers, I'm like, bro, we ain't getting that much money back.
Yes.
I can't splurge this summer.
Right.
So when she started doing the Schedule C, I see it start trickling up. She put her expenses in. Did her hair. The part of the office in the house.
Yes.
You know, they ask you what square feet is your office.
Depreciation.
Right. And so I see the money start going. I said, you got some more?
Got some. That's right.
What's some more that should put them in, sister? We about to get paid. So she would do that, and it would actually help us tremendously.
Yes.
So having something on the side does help.
It does help tremendously. So that's why, and thank you for sharing that, because that was perspective from a real situation, from where you see a W-2 situation, and then you see a self-employed situation, and then you see that work together for their good. Because if it was just a W-2 situation, a working situation, it wouldn't hardly be any money to work with. But because you had that entrepreneur idea, I don't care if you did nails, I don't care if you made pies, I don't care if you motivated people for a living, I don't care if people call you for advice, that's consulting. Right? I don't care if you're fixing somebody's lashes. That's a business, right? I don't care if you're making your bean pies. That's a business, right? And whatever it is God gifted you with, that's natural to you, that you naturally are good at, that's a business. So you starting that business keeps more money in your pocket. Some people try to do all deductions, right? They try to say, they found out about this cool stuff that we talking about. They say, you want to know what? Oh, the IRS think they slick. They want to take all my money. So we get a little smarter. We start our own little business, right? Making bowls, making whatever it is. And then once we make that business, we say, okay, Mr. IRS, I know I made 20,000, but I spent 20,000. I ain't make nothing. So you can't tax nothing, Mr. IRS. You don't get nothing because I spent it all. Right? They think that's the way to go. But when they try to apply for that house, they ask for their tax transcripts. And when they ask for their tax transcripts, they see that you didn't make nothing. You made 20 grand, but you wrote it all off. So how you gonna afford this $2,000 house?
Right.
You can't, right? So to add to his point, showing income is good, but knowing how to minimize your taxable liability is important, okay? And what that means in layman's terms, minimizing how much Uncle Sam gets to take out of your check, okay?
And these conversations that we're having with you, are you having them at home? And if you're not having it at home, then that may be why it may not be as appealing to you. But you gotta get with it, right? You have to know these things because you guys are about to embark upon some money, and I want you guys to be able to utilize it as a resource for you to grow money, not just spend. If you spend money just all the time, spend money, and you don't invest and you don't save, where does that lead?
That's right.
To poverty.
That's right.
That's why you have poor people. They have poor spending habits, poor money management. You see how poor leads every word? Because there's a deficit somewhere, which means they're lacking something, which means they don't have the knowledge. So get the knowledge on today, so that way when you get the money, you may not want to just spend it all on shoes or clothes or hair. You may want to say, you know what, I want to put some money to the side, or you know what, I do hair or I do nails. Maybe I want to pay for that course or that class that's going to take me to put me in a position to make more money.
You have to know that whatever way you choose to make your money, that's how you're going to be taxed, right? So if you're taxed as an entrepreneur alone, then you're going to be taxed. You're going to touch all your money first, and then you're going to get to give the IRS what his cut is, like this. But if you only work a job only, then you don't touch your money first. Only what comes to you. The Uncle Sam says. So would you rather say, let me see what I made? Here you go, Uncle Sam. Or do you want Uncle Sam to say, let me see what we made? All right, here you go. That's for you for the rest of the week. Go do it again. Let's see how this works out.
Right.
You right? So that's the difference. So when you add those two together, you create an instance where you say, okay, Uncle Sam, I know you touching that money first, but I got so many expenses, you're going to have to get some of that back real quick,
Right.
Uncle Sam. You know what I mean? Because you ain't count this gas I had to spend to get that money. You ain't count this food I had to eat to get this money. You ain't count the when I went over here and bought these business cards, Uncle Sam. So you didn't get a chance to count that for me, Uncle Sam. So I need that back before, because you ain't touched that. So now you play the MC Hammer on them for real. Can't touch this. All right. I'm gonna wrap it up with these three things. So when you go into a bank and you ask for money, so you're gonna need money to buy a house, right? You finance a house, it's $300,000. They don't ask you to have that in your savings account. They ask you to have the credit, right? And my son credit at 16. We added him to our credit cards. He had over a 700 credit score when he graduated at 17. At 17, he graduated early. He graduated with this company, a LLC, that we're also building the company's credit. He had an 85 in company's credit, which is like an 850, right? So understanding this stuff was done while he was in school by being added to our credit. That's called the trade line, right? That's called the trade line, and all that is him piggybacking off of what I have been able to pay my bills on time. That makes sense? So if I have an American Express card, I add my son to it, right? And when I add my son to it and my daughter to it, they now have a new relationship with American Express. They don't have a card, right? But my experience and my history with that credit card company is then duplicated on my child's report, right?
Is that what legacy is?
That's a part of building legacy.
That's good.
All right, that's a great question. Great question. So that's a part of what legacy is, right? Because that's how you build. That's how you prepare the next generation for something greater, right? They don't have to start from the bottom, right? They now have it. So we have a mentorship program where if you don't have people in your life that has great credit, that can leverage their credit to get you to the next level, we have that for our mentorship students, of people that's in our organization that will sponsor the kids to help them get them to the next level and start out high school and beyond with like
I have a question.
yes.
Do you have like financial
financial classes that you
Yes, I have a mentorship for teens 11 through 25, and that's where I actually teach these principles in a little bit more detail, and actually teach you. We go through modules.
Do you have any other classes outside of what you're doing?
Yes, I have a lot of classes that I think you guys will all love. These are two of my mentees. Marlon started out with me at Miami-Dade College. We offer a certification program where scholarship where we pay for him to get licensed in the financial services industry. So he's now a licensed financial advisor. Also the head of his student government.
I'm head of the Student Government Association, SGA, at Miami-Dade College, working with Mr. Brandon. Like he said before, you can start building your credit from 14 to 15 to 16. I have a 723 credit score right now, and
Then tell them about the certification.
And I took modules, and I took the Florida State exam for my financial services, so I could be a licensed agent to give insurance to those who need it. And that's pretty much it.
How old are you?
19.
723 credits.
And my son is the same way. So my son was the model student for everything that we want to provide in our mentorship group to our mentees and be able to come back to schools. Joel just graduated high school at Carroll City High School, going off to Tennessee State. And that now we just gave him a scholarship of $1,000 there to further his entrepreneurship vision. And he's great with the camera. He has a great business. You guys should follow him, tune into him. When you guys text me, I want you guys all to write down before we get out of here my website, right? And so if any of you guys are interested, you can have your parents look at the site. You guys can sign up at the site. It's called www.CEO Financial Literacy Academy.com. And how many of you guys on Instagram? So I'm Pastor Finance on Instagram. So you guys follow me on
_finance?
Yes, Pastor_finance. And you also can find the website. There's a link here that takes you to the website, shares more about what we do, how you can get involved.
Follow him. Go follow him right now.
And I'll follow you guys back.
So he can follow you back.
Now, how do we get a copy of your book?
Oh, so what we can do, I have a book called Breaking the Financial Curse, and we have one coming out called How to Win the Money Game. That's the one that was picked up by a student, by Talent Search at Miami-Dade College. They pick it up and we run and teach the curriculum out of that book. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. Who can tell me what the rule of 72 is? Wrapping this up.
That it will take, if you are charged 1% interest on $1, it will take 72 weeks for it to go.
Okay. Close it out. That was good. So you gonna let somebody offer you 1% on your money? Okay. So I'm proud of y'all, man. Y'all did an amazing job. Thank you guys for participating. I encourage you guys to reach out to me. I look forward to connecting with you and offering you some more resources to help you guys. Just like my son, I want to look at you guys like, man, you connect. I connected with you today because that was my story. I wanted to get my mom out the hood, and this is where I'm at now, and I'm doing a good job with it. So I want to help you out in whatever way I can. Okay, all of you guys. But specifically, I want to talk to you. So leave your number, reach out to me, and let's connect, okay?
Y'all give it up for Mr. Brandon.
When we step outside of our comfort zone. So when we step outside of our comfort zone, you know what was uncomfortable to me? Was to wear a suit. To wear a suit, a button-up shirt. I didn't used to dress like that. I used to dress with my hoodie, my pants hanging off. I used to have a big gold chain on it with the pinky and the brain on it, the big bracelet on it with the whole 9 yards. So all my money in my pocket. When I was young, I had all my money in my pocket. I had about 10,000. I was rich that day, but if somebody would have hit me up, I would have been broke that day too.
Plus,
right?
Also too, if we knew,
yes, or dead.
if you go up your tree, right?
Yes.
If we knew who our ancestors were, right? They're not like how we look today. Like the hood that was forced on us. We not hood people. We royal people.
Talk about
But
it.
the hood was forced on us.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? So when we saying what's up, dog, my nigga, those are things that's beneath us.
That's real. That's real.
You get what I'm saying? I get it because I know if I'm walking in to the town Sunland, Franklin Park. I'm not. There's a certain way I gotta show up. You feel me? There's a certain way I gotta show up so I don't get robbed.
That's real.
You get what I'm saying?
That's real.
So I understand that, but when you away from that environment, you gotta show up and adapt to the environment you are going into.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
And what he's saying is dress for the position you want, not the position you have, right? And doing this, when I didn't have a suit at first, so it was a Jewish guy pulled me aside. He said, "Mr. Williams, can I tell you something?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "You promise it won't offend you?" I said, "No, sir, it was on offend. I'm coachable. Teach me." He says, "Well, I want to tell you this." He said, "You think I come in here like a doggone banker for any reason, like dressed up in a suit?" He was a real estate agent at the time. And I said, "Well, why do you dress up in a suit?" He said, "Because it makes me uncomfortable." He said, "And you want to know why I'm so easy to get uncomfortable or step outside of my comfort zone?" I say, "Why?" He said, "Because inside of my comfort zone, this is where ordinary stuff happens every day. I run into the same people, I have the same conversations, I do the same thing every day. But the moment I step outside of my comfort zone and dress for the position I want, not the position I have, now I attract the different kind of people to me." Now they're saying, "Hey man, how's this suit? What do you do?" Nobody was asking me what I do with my pants hanging down. Because they figured they knew what I do. They felt I was selling dope, robbing, gambling a little bit. They already felt like they had me made out. They said, so sometimes I'm a good guy, but they wouldn't even give me a shot. They wouldn't even give me a shot because they think they know what they're looking at. When that wasn't the case. Like this was, it could be legendary stuff that you're looking at right now, but you might not know it how I'm packaged. Right? So I started stepping outside of my comfort zone. Once I stepped outside of my comfort zone, I noticed that different conversations started to happen. Different people started to approach me. Hey, how's it going? What do you do for a living? Well, sir, I sell houses. I help people buy and sell homes. Now I'm saying, "Hey man, could you help me? I'm looking at selling my house." That leads into an $8,000 conversation now. But while I was dressed like being in my comfort zone, nobody was even ever willing to have those conversations with me that could have turned into 8,000, 10,000 because I wasn't willing to get uncomfortable. So uncomfortable sometimes requiring you. If I go to the hood, just like what he said, if I go to Miami Gardens, if I go to Opalaka, if I go to Bunch Bar, if I go back out there like Lauderhill or something like that, you think I want to walk in like this? They're gonna see me as a mark, ain't it? They're gonna see me moving from a mile away. They're gonna say, "Hey man, come here, let me talk to you for a second." They're gonna think I'm green just because of how I'm dressed. Even though that's not the case, I might be a little tougher than a lot of those guys in that but they won't be able to tell by looking at me on the outside. They're not supposed to tell. That's where you got the advantage. Where you can know the other side and they can't play you for knowing the other side. No, you walk in there with a little low cut thing with the waves going so bad. They see the dolphins jumping out the top. It'll hit them another way because they don't think you can get on their level with them, where they at. But that's not, they're not supposed to be able to see you and make you out. You know what I mean? So I encourage you guys to step outside of your comfort zone, all right? Because outside of your comfort zone, some major things happen.
What did you learn in the workshop, and what empowered you to continue to learn more about money?
Okay, well, workshop was good. I learned how to navigate through this world of money. I learned how to see if people taking advantage of me with my money. I learned how to budget my money. The 3 C's when it comes to money. And the workshop just made me feel reassured that I'll be straight when I get older. Because a lot of people having money problems right now, so now I know how to, if I come across the money problems, I know how to handle it.
Okay, that's good. And last question. You know the 72% rule, right? What's 1 divided by 72?
Oh, 72. And it's gonna take me 72 years to make that $1 too.
Do you want to do that?
Nah.
Okay, you learned something.
I learned a lot. I was listening.
The workshop, what did you like? What did you take away? And how are you going to incorporate it in your everyday life from now on?
Well, I've been learning about this stuff from my parents all the time, but what Mr. Brandon told me, it just basically opened a new door for what I could do. Like, he was talking about legacy, he was talking about just CDs and how these people try to trick you. And mostly what I just learned from it is just like how to work around that and how to just be truly free with my own money.
Okay. What would you do in the near future when the bank says, "Oh, I'll give you 1% interest if you put my money with you"? What would you do in that scenario?
Hell no, I'm educated. I learned from Mr. Brandon himself.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.